These things are constantly around you and you're not aware of it. See, just how we eat the vegetables and we drink water and we need that fuel. We take in that fuel, we cycle that fuel, and we, just like we produce carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide goes into the trees produce oxygen. There are billions upon billions of different things going on like that, different transfers of energy in this weave or web that we're all in. And one of those transfers of energy that is the most harmful for us if it's not controlled properly is actually this emotional response. I'll put it like that. Because every time we send off a strong emotional response, which is not relaxing, we send off what looks like a turtle-shaped spiral from our center. We send it off from our body. Now, I want to let you know before I explain this that there's a part of you, it's like a fire that can never be extinguished. There's a part of you that actually never goes out. It's a part of the original essence. It can never be exhausted. But what we do with that part is we create from that. That's why they say, hey, pull it from deep from within to create something. Like obviously when we create children, all that is pulled from deeply within, genetics and roots and ties and all sorts of stuff. It's all coming from a very deep space. So what happens to us, though, is that because we can create other things from that, then it is the things that we create from that. It is the things that we have bought into this existence that we've processed from that these things that you can't see consume. And there is nothing right or wrong about their consumption, just like there's nothing right or wrong about you drinking water. We have to get out of the whole dual processing brain, the dual core, I call it, where, although that sounds bad, are they bad for me? Listen, these are mechanics. This is what I call in the university celestial mechanics. And if you go in with a wrench or a socket wrench and you needed to have a whole different kind of tool, then you're not going to be able to operate on yourself. So this is about using the proper tools to deal with the situation that you're dealing with. So right now we're talking about matters of light. And that outside of your visual spectrum, there are things that need to feed on your anxiety and need to feed on your anger and even can feed on happiness. Every single frequency range. Why? Because if you look at the chart of frequencies, you'll find there's the gamma, you'll find that there's infrared, and many of these ranges are actually outside of our visual spectrum. And outside of our visual spectrum, all of those different realms, the beings that live there, they're made out of that. Just like since we eat meat, we eat vegetables, we eat water, then our world consists of that. If you eat the prana, you live in the pranayama. So that's what the ancient texts say. So because you consume from here, then you are phased into this. That's why anytime you stop eating, anytime you stop drinking, you're phased into something else, whether you like it or not. So what happens is that in those other realms, when we think, if you can think about, if you have a thought, if you have an expression, it comes out in those fields, the gamma field, infrared field, based on whatever it is that you're expressing. And you can't see that expression, but it's coming from you. And then the things that are in those fibers and those frequencies then feel that surge of energy, and then they eat that energy. And what this does is that because you're emitting energy, then you can actually start running low on energy. That you can have energy mismanagement. And that's why a lot of people have a big time energy mismanagement going on with their emotions. They're always upset. They're always angry. They're always looking for somebody to blame for things. They're always responding to things. They never relax. But I'm here to tell you that if you cannot relax, then you can never get out of this. So there's whatever reason you want to come up with, there's a way to actually be aware and observant of what's happening in the reality and to not be a dummy and fall for stupid things, but still be completely relaxed in doing what you need to do in that space, because in that space, that's where you're going to tap into your true potential.